Welcome back, everyone. Michael here with Offshore Citizen. Today I'm going to discuss with you how you can pay low tax in Spain, living there. So we're going to talk importantly about this law that allows you to go and relocate there and for a period of 6 years have a very favorable tax treatment, much like what you would get with the NHR, which is obviously much more publicized in Portugal. In some ways better, in some ways worse. I'm going to talk to you about the specifics, so let's dive in. Before we do, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the all notification bell. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you would like assistance with relocating abroad, figuring out what is the best solution for you, or setting up your business to do business around the world, we can help you with the strategy and the implementation, including forming companies, opening bank accounts, getting residencies, citizenships, paying the lowest legal amount of tax, doing asset protection, etc. So please reach out to us. You can book a call at calendly.com/Michael-Rosmer. There's a link in the description below, or you can send a message through our websites offshorecitizen.net and offshorecapitalist.com. Okay, so what we're talking about today is what's called the Beckham Law, or La Ley Beckham. And so how does this work? This is for people who are newly displaced, I guess you would call them. I think that's the technical term they use, to Spain. So it is a situation where somebody has not lived in Spain for the previous 10 years, and they are essentially required to move there for a job. Now, there's some requirements around this, so they need to have a job offer, and so effectively what needs to happen is you need to essentially get somebody there, or at least with a company there, to sponsor you. So there's some methods around which this can happen. You cannot own more than 25% of the company, and so you need to go accordingly. This was kind of famously created in order to bring David Beckham there, hence the Beckham Law, right? That was kind of the theory, was that if you wanted to attract these top players, then you needed to do this. Ironically, there's been some changes in that regard. Anyway, that kind of limit it for athletes. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. Now, what will be the consequences of this? So you're going to go there and you're going to be earning an income, and you will pay you'll pay 24% taxes on an earned income up to 600,000 euros a year. Okay, so you get a favorable tax rate because you don't have the progressive rate up to 48% like you would normally in Spain. So that's very good. However, you will pay taxes there, and so you kind of have to expect that that's just going to be part of your cost. In theory, you're going to just pay yourself or get paid by the company. Probably it's coming indirectly from you. A regular, whatever a typical salary would be. And you need to do that job for the company inside Spain. Only 15% can be outside. That's part of the requirement. So you're going to do whatever. In theory, it's essentially subcontracting with a foreign company, right? So in other words, a foreign company would subcontract to a domestic company. The domestic company is going to hire you. You're going to relocate there. You're going to apply for the Beckham Law. And then we come to the good part. So the good part is that you're taxed as a non-resident. So your foreign income is not taxable in Spain. So if you have assets in Spain, then they'll be taxed at 19% for, say, the sale of local assets. But for foreign assets, which includes capital gains notably, as well as dividends, there will be no taxes on those. And this is quite good. So if I compare it to the Portuguese Golden Visa, when we're talking about the Portuguese Golden Visa, yes, you get dividends tax-free, but you don't get capital gains tax-free. Capital gains are taxed typically at 28%, which is higher than the domestic rate in a lot of these countries, such as the US. Here, you don't have that capital gain. And so this is quite attractive. In theory, you could have a large portfolio. You could be making quite a lot of money through there, in addition to the dividends, etc. And you could just continue to earn that income, and you can actually bring this money into the country. So unlike, say, a similar program like you have the non-dom in UK, Ireland, etc., where it's remittance based, and so you earn it but you can't bring it into the country, here you actually can bring it into the country. So there's no restrictions in that. You could actually, in a theory, you could look at this as a reasonable way to cash out from a bunch of things, because let's just kind of consider the scenario. Normally, you often are in a case where maybe you've got accumulated wealth inside a company, and provided there's no exit tax for leaving the country, you could go and you could cash out somewhere. Now, sometimes people will go to places like Dubai where it's just zero tax. Maybe they'll go to some place like Cyprus. But here in theory, you could go to Spain. You could cash out, get all the money into your personal name, right? So now you've got all this wealth out of a company into your personal name. A lot of people would like to live in Spain. For me, I prefer Spain to Portugal personally in terms of just what it offers. I mean, it's a bigger country, has more to offer, etc. And so you get to live in a pretty great country for 6 years. And during that time, you could, essentially accumulate this wealth personally. A lot of people wouldn't mind, say they're coming from UK, wouldn't mind relocating there with their family, etc. And off you go. So that's basically the overview. There's little nuances to, how to apply and what it takes to qualify and, working out the mechanics. It's not really an easy thing to be able to do yourself because you can't just form a company in Spain and hire yourself, right? You have to actually, somebody else has to own the company. You could have maximum 25% ownership and all this sort of thing. So there's some stuff involved in being able to do this. But for people who are interested in relocating abroad, who have either most of their wealth/income coming from something like dividends from a foreign company, and obviously you have to maintain the real genuine foreignness of that company, or from capital gains, etc., then this could be a good option for you. So for those who are interested, please reach out to us. Happy to discuss it with you, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next video.